Hey, hold the phone. Look, if you're joining us right now, hold your phone, get it in your hand, share it, tell somebody that the Pens program is live tonight. And we're not just live tonight, but we're live with my good friend and my brother for about maybe 10, 12, 13, something like that. We in the teens.
Yeah, win them teams, win them teams.
We in the teens. We in the teens, man. So look, y'all, please share this. We're talking about unorthodox conversations tonight, unorthodox ways to be successful. So the PENS program is uh, literally titled at the top. Some people may not know what it stands for, but the PENS program actually stands for Providing Educational Needs and Support. And our goal is to do three things: to educate, mentor, and empower. So we started a series under the PENS Pal program where we're mentoring kids, and we said, hey, let's do some information and some conversations about unorthodox ways to be successful. So with this unorthodox ways to be successful, we reached out to people that have done it in an unorthodox way. They said, we're going to go outside the box. And like I said, my good brother here, I'm going to let him introduce himself. He got a whole lot of titles and a whole lot of accolades. I'm not going to take nothing away from him, even the picture in the back. I want y'all to know what that stands for. So we're gonna get through it all tonight. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, bro, can you please let the people know who you are, what you do, just a little bit, if you don't mind.
Well, I feel like that was a great introduction, bro. Give me once. Yeah, he'll be okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
Oh my god, hold on, give me 1 second.
We understand. So look, we all have pets. You know what type of climate we're in right now. I have a dog right now, but thankfully my dog has just taken a nap. So while you're joining in, tell us where you're coming from, who you are. If there's any questions that you want to ask Josh, just let me know. Put it in the comments. But this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Now, you do see things at the bottom of the screen real quick. So if you just feel encouraged tonight as we're talking, you can do three things. Definitely follow us on Instagram, right? You can follow us on Facebook. I don't have the Facebook page at the bottom, but you can follow us on Facebook with the same information, PENS program, and you can donate. If you want to donate, we have some events coming. And look, man, last year we had 2 scholarships that we gave away honoring Antoine, who's phenomenal, who was phenomenal, and Josh knows who he is as well. And then my aunt too. Then, so one was the Impact Scholarship, and then the second one was the Survivor Scholarship. And so, if you want to donate, just feel led because we're actually about to do some stuff really, really soon, and we want you guys to definitely be a part of it. So, Josh, he's back. He has his dog, and he about to let us know who he is. This is that guy.
Appreciate you, bro. But yeah, my name is Josh. I'm a photographer, content creator. I do real estate, commercial, residential. So if you need a house, you're trying to start a business, need a storefront. I'm a New York licensed real estate agent. I started when I was in North Carolina doing leasing. That's also where I started, taking pictures for some of my friends, and one thing led to another. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get into that. But I sell property and do pictures.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's first go back because people may not know, and we have to cover this because what I'm saying, the world has shifted and we're honoring HBCUs, and so you got to let them know where you graduated from now.
Yeah. So I graduated from none other than the illustrious North Carolina Central University.
There we go.
Down in the Bull Central, Eagle Pride, baby.
Might have a couple Eagles up here, a couple Eagles now. Now, if my Bulldogs are out here, look, we're not taking anything away. We're just honoring North Carolina Central, but South Carolina State, we're in here too. So, Josh, so let's even go back further, bro. Let's go back to high school. So we both went to Hunt, right?
Mm-hmm.
We both went to the same middle school too. I just thought about that.
Yeah. We that's where we linked up at. We kind of a crazy story, but
I remember
everything come full circle.
Right. So we're going back middle school. We started hanging in middle school, so high school. So let me ask this question, because we all go to college with this ambition of being whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember even going to college and I'm like, I want to major in accounting, but the reason why I want to major in accounting is because I know for some reason I feel like I'm I'm going to have my own business at some point in time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I feel like I need to know how to work numbers. So what did you go to college for? One, and then when did that passion for photography come about?
Well, no, I think I went to college for I originally went to college for nursing. Um,
I
and
forgot about that.
some things transpired. Then I switched my major to criminal justice. But always in the back of my mind, like I always knew that I wanted to do something that I was able to like control my own like income.
Yeah,
I felt like me like getting a degree. I was always going to be like kind of sort of working for somebody. And
yeah,
as you know, bro, like when we was in high school, Twan kind of like installed that mind in us.
yes, sir.
Like kind of be in control of your own destiny in a way.
Yep,
Of course, we had no thought of tomorrow, but at the same time, you want to be able to, have some source of income that you could provide with your own hands. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So, yeah, yeah. I hope I answered your question.
No, no, you did. So Twan, I remember, and I'm glad you said it. I remember like him like drilling that into us about having our own source of income, and honestly, I remember it being such a tough conversation because back then it was hard to understand the perspective that Twan had
Mm-hmm.
because we want to go to college to now put our family on, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't really see that putting our family on doesn't look like working for the man, which Twan would
Mm-hmm.
say, or working for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
You got to create your own legacy, and so
Mm-hmm.
photography has literally been that lane for you. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know if we ever talked about this, bro, but did you have any mentors that kind of gave you, let's say, gave you the blueprint, or what I'm saying, gave you just a tutorial of what it was like to be a photographer, or was it just something that you like, yo, I like it and I'm gonna just jump into it?
Yeah. I never really had my aunt when I was growing up, like in church and everything. She had bought me like a little Kodak camera, and that was kind of like my first cameras around like 13 years old. So I always was kind of like familiar with a camera, and bro, like growing up, me and you was kind of like at the same level
Yeah,
playing the piano and everything,
right,
and
right,
then
right,
it's like you really got into it, you took
right,
off, and
right.
then our other best friend Jay, he was always already good with music, so I had to find something, that I felt like, all right, cool, like this is what I'm good at. And one of my friends, we was she was graduating, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to take my pictures for graduation?" I was like, "Okay." Like I never really took nobody's pictures, 'cause I was just taking pictures of my pets and everything.
Right.
And one of her friends seen the pictures, and she was like, "Hey, I'll pay you to take my pictures too." And one thing led to another, and I was like, "Hey, like with them conversations with Twan, like it just clicked, like, oh wow, I could really do this. This is really some tangible income that I can really like provide for myself."
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what made me really really want to get into it. I always was like a creative person, so but I never really had like a mentor as far as like, hey, this is an older photographer that I really can like reach out to and
Mm.
like get some advice from. Everything that I felt like I've learned is always from like a business person, but not just like a photographer per se.
Got you. Got you. And I'm gonna definitely touch something after this question, but what would you say is the difference between being a photographer and someone just taking pictures? And the reason why I ask that is because people can just like you know what I'm saying, they said in high school, yo, can you take these pictures for me? You are already good at it. You
Hmm.
know, however, you may not have been a full blown photographer like you are now. So what's the difference between just taking great quality pictures and being an actual photographer?
Uh, I feel like it's a number of things. I feel like somebody that takes great quality pictures, and then there's somebody that's a photographer. I feel like a photographer tells a story in
Ooh,
the photo.
yeah,
I feel like a photographer understands that like they're the only person that can make time stand still. So like whether it's like somebody's being married or there's a new baby being christening or there's a engagement or whatever, that's a photographer's job is the only thing that can make that moment last forever. To catch them 2 milliseconds of a time frame, like that's the difference between somebody that like just like taking pictures and somebody that really know how to take a Kodak moment that can tell 1,000. You know how they say like a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a picture should tell a story from beginning to end without you even saying a word. So I think that's the difference between somebody that takes photos and a photographer.
Yeah, bro, you just got in your bag just then. Like for like 8 seconds, I can really just take that 8 second clip right there and just post it because that whole clip that whole line right there, that's like photographer 101. That's like your introductory course.
Hey,
You know what
I
I'm
ain't gonna
saying?
lie, bro. I feel like I was a little poetic right there.
Nah, you were both poetic and you was like in your professor bag. You like, let me teach these young cats something that's out here being a photographer. Josh, but talk a little bit more about like telling the story as a photographer because some people may be in that phase where they're like, yo, I want to be a photographer, but I don't know how to tell that story with the picture. Like, so what goes into it? Like, is it the scenery? Is it the time of day? Is it the season? Is it the weather? Like, what should go into that telling the story from your aspect and your lens?
Yeah. Well. First, like I feel like the subject is the main thing. Like when I choose my subjects or when I'm choosing like a project, I don't like to really focus on like the clothes. Really per se, I don't like the clothes to be the main thing of the photo. It's got to be like a feel. You have to sell like whatever you're trying to portray.
Yeah,
I think that's the scenery, yeah, but I think the subject is like the 85% main thing in there to be able to tell a subject. Stop, boy. My four-legged animal is being a nuisance right now.
now you good, bro. You dropping some gems. You gonna help somebody that's trying to be a photographer for real.
Yeah, I think like your location. I think if you have two photographers, right,
Hmm.
in one subject, but and they're in the same location, I think they should be able to make it look like they're not in the same location.
Ooh,
Because like every photographer has a different eye. I know when I'm setting out before a photo shoot that day, I already know the image that I'm trying to create in my head. Like it's like I already see it before I get in my car. So when I get to the location, it's not really much that I got to do because the vision is already there.
yeah. Let me ask this question, bro, because I know from our conversations, of course, that your photography, I'm sorry, has evolved like even more over the last 2 years,
Hmm.
even in the pandemic, right? Like your photography has just literally hit like an acceleration button. Can you kind of talk about the possibilities inside of photography that's beyond just taking pictures for like graduation or taking pictures for somebody's family? Can you talk about some of your opportunities that you've gained like over the last maybe 12 to 18 months just off just photography?
Yeah. Like I just officially moved to New York. Probably it was like January, like the
All right,
beginning of.
pause real quick because that's something that we just can't skip over. I gotta dive into that real quick. Can you talk about Josh just just for a quick second? Can you share how when you moved, bro? So let me preface this like this. Sometimes it's very hard to move and get work or
Hmm.
move and like be as successful as you were where you were
Hmm.
versus literally having to kind of build that up. Can you before you say you just moved to New York, can you say that you were in another location being successful and you shifted and moved 6, 8, 9 hours away and was just as successful or more?
Yeah, yeah. Well, one, I want to shout out God to that because like that don't happen for everybody. But I,
Right.
I will I will say this too. you got to be ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I mean. If you're not if you're not dedicated, if you're not, I wouldn't say successful, but if your heart not into what you're doing, where you're at, it's not really the location. Because
Woo.
you still got to be like what Kobe said. You got to be the same animal but a different beast. So
Yeah.
if you're already not an animal, like you can't really shift locations and think that it's gonna really work out for you because you already kind of gotta have a harvest of where you at. You know what I mean? If you want to eat somewhere else too.
Hey, bro, you in your bag tonight, dog. that's that's number two. You in your bag tonight. No, no, you
nah,
digging deep. Those some deep gems right there.
nah, but it was. I think for me, I was frustrated. I was frustrated and scared of taking that leap of faith of moving to a big city. Like
Yeah,
you know how you so frustrated and you so scared that you kind of like sabotage your own self. Because if you, especially if you're a believer, like God said your gift will make room for you.
yeah,
So like moving to a bigger city where there's already way better talent, and I'm talking to my family and they're like, yo, you're gonna have to start all the way over. You don't know nobody out here, and bro, you was quarterbacking a lot of stuff when I first got here. You know what I'm saying? You was
right,
quarterbacking
right.
a whole lot of stuff. So I appreciate you because you definitely gave me some rooted connections when I first got here, and them connections led to other connections. But
Mm,
if I wasn't ready for those type of blessings, I wouldn't been able to receive it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And being it moving to a bigger city where there's so many more distractions. Like I feel like every entrepreneur, it's you have to stay focused. You have to be in tunnel vision because there's so many opportunities for you to get sidetracked into other things, especially once success start coming your way. You know what I mean?
for sure. And another level of success too.
Yeah.
When the rooms that you're in, the average person,
Mm-hmm.
their the salary is different,
No,
right?
no, no, definitely. Like I'm, like I could call Jim Jones right now. Like, what we doing today? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've been in rooms with Davies. Like, seeing celebrities now is not even like it's just like all
Yeah,
right, and like at first I was kind of like what they call it
starstruck.
starstruck,
Yeah, yeah,
but now like I feel like God done put me in the room with people that's like only one yes can really like change your life, you
only
know,
one.
so it just take you just gotta be focused. You gotta be focused because when I was in North Carolina, I was doing the same stuff that I'm doing now, but like when I changed locations, the people that gravitate to it is a little bit more like empowered. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that in a negative place about North Carolina. It's just that like New York has already been established when it comes to like photography, you know.
right.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like it's a difference in North Carolina because like there's still it's things still have to be established as far as like they still need studios. They
yeah,
still need places where artists can rent out and stuff like that. So like it's just things that like you got to go to the Mecca if anytime and whatever you do, you got to go to the Mecca and doing it. If you do fashion, you do modeling, you got to go to New York. If you do music, I would say go to Atlanta. Because
yeah,
that's kind of like the Mecca. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah. So, so you got Jim Jones is one, but even from your photography, from like pictures that are similar to what's on the wall now. Like talk about Josh, the evolution of what photography can be, just from where you are, because I know you're not done.
hmm
Uh, of course, but what can it be? Because you got a guy that started out just taking pictures in high school, right?
hmm
Graduation photos, didn't even think about taking them for money, but it was just, hey, can you take these pictures? Yeah, I got you. To now connecting with people who are rap artists that are globally recognized, right?
hmm
And so taking photos for them, attending conferences or in films and taking pictures. So like what can photography look like, bro, just from what you've experienced over the last 18 months?
Yeah. I feel like it's when it comes to photography, it's things that I didn't really even I wouldn't say no, but it's things that didn't even come to my mind.
Yeah.
As far as like how much money you can make, the different places that it can take you. Like we keep talking about that picture behind me. When I took that picture, just I was like, wow, that's a nice picture of a bridge. I just stopped, took it. I was like, oh wow, I should get this blown up. I went to the camera printing place, and the lady was like, "Hey, do you sell your work?" I was like, "No, I'm just printing to put up on my wall." She was like, "No, you should really, really sell your work. You should really, really sell your work." So I got a couple things that I'm dropping in August on my website. So I'm gonna see what that takes me. So that's just a different avenue, so I feel like now I have like a product that I can actually sell, because being a photographer, oftentimes you're a service for hire. You don't
Right.
really have like a product to sell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think like with photography, you could have product to sell. I have like photos, legendary photos of like Run DMC that I haven't even dropped. You could put those on like T-shirts and stuff like that. You can even hold like, if you like really are like into your craft, you can really hold conferences or like tutorials. You can even go that route. It's a number of things you can do. Artists, concerts, sports, anything. Weddings. It's endless.
Tell me this, bro, because I think a lot of times people hear about the photography side of it, and the financial aspect may get overlooked, and so that's kind of like a hard curve to really come around. But can you kind of talk about your experience and just the wisdom that you've had to have financially, like with pricing your service for photos,
Hmm.
and then evolving even with that, right? And then making sure that people respect you for what your price is, you
Hmm.
know, and
Hmm.
not moving from it. And then even from a receipt standpoint, are you sending out receipts, or are you just saying, all right, cool, give me the cash, and you keep it pushing? So what does that
Hmm.
look like too for the person that's like financially, I don't know.
Hmm. Well, I think when I first started out, like it was going so fast for me that it was still as like a hobby, so I didn't really see it as like a business. Like the first year, every time I would get like a booking or a client, I would go spend that maybe on like some clothes or something.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really wasn't like thinking as a business and putting everything I made back into the business. It wasn't until I made my business a LLC, and then I understood like, hey, this money here need to go towards marketing. If I take a photo, if I do a photo shoot, we know that we live in a digital age now, so I maybe need to do a sponsorship on Instagram or Facebook, so I can
Mm,
get that money back. Because what they say, 65% of your income in your first year need to go towards marketing. You
yeah.
know, so it's not just like, oh, I'm making money and then it's going back in my pocket and I'm going out and we eating good or whatnot. I think a lot of people think a lot of people forget that if you are an entrepreneur, most of the times like you're making less money, especially starting out, than when you had your 9 to 5. That's why it's important for everybody to like, some people can quit their 9 to 5 and pursue their dreams like that. For me, like that wasn't possible. Like bookings wasn't coming back to back to back. Um, so like you still got bills, you still got food. Everybody's grown now, so you still got things that require money. So it's kind of be smarter you to not everybody's situation is different. But for me, I had to keep my day job. I had to keep my 9 to 5. I still
Yeah.
got my 9 to 5. It just depends on what some of the things that you want to do. Like you said, unorthodox. It's different ways to skin a cat. So it just depends. But I definitely advise people starting out in their first year, if you have a 9 to 5, definitely try to keep your 9 to 5, because that can definitely keep you afloat in times where you're not expecting to
Mm,
not be afloat.
right. Now that was a great segue because I literally was about to ask you, should you keep your 9 to 5, or should you just abandon it once you start getting work? So like you segued into that perfectly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
last question, bro. Or just yeah, this is a question. So um last question. We got people watching and we'll be watching at some point in time. And I feel like from a photographer standpoint, and perspective, you gave so many gems that they'll be able to literally apply once they leave.
Mhm.
So if you have a person right now, they're saying, "Hey, Josh, I want to be a photographer. I just purchased my camera. I got a 10K. Um, I don't know all the terminology. I was about to try to be fancy, but I don't know it. So
Yeah.
so I got the 10K joint, right? It's great quality. I got it. I got the backdrop. I got the lighting, but I don't know what to do next. Or I haven't even bought a camera yet, and I'm just like passionate about what you're talking about. What's your advice for those people that have that passion but no further details about how to start it?
I would say invest in yourself. That's like the biggest thing. And I don't mean like really money. I mean, of course, money, because you need to buy your equipment. But when I mean invest in yourself is like train your eye. Your
Mm,
eye, when you first look at something, yeah, you see you may see something as it is, but if you look at something the same thing every day, like you will see something differently. You know what I mean? So you gotta
yeah,
you gotta train your eye, you gotta train your mind, to be a creative. And that process will come, especially when you're trying to pick up a camera. And once you get your camera, use it every day.
mm,
Like I that was one of my downfalls. Like I felt like it was probably like 4 years ago. 'Cause I've been taking pictures for about probably about 7 years.
yeah,
But like 4 years ago, I had an epiphany, and it just came to me: how can I call myself a photographer if I'm not picking up my camera every day? Because I wouldn't pick up my camera if I didn't have a photo shoot. And I was like, yo, how can like a preacher call himself a preacher if they're not in the word every day? Or like, if how can a basketball player call himself a basketball player if they're not picking up a basketball every day? And not saying that you're not doing it if you don't do it every day, but the best people, I feel like, do what they do every day. You know,
yeah,
and you get out what you put in. So I would just say, once you get it, if you got to take pictures of your dog, if you got a son or a daughter, if you got any subject that you have, just start doing it and do it every day, because hard work always pays off. that's the
yeah,
that's the motto we had in high school: hard work always pays off. So
all day.
no matter what you're doing, as long as you working hard the right way, it's always going to pay off. But definitely invest in yourself, get you some equipment, and just practice, 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 and train your eye to different things, because you can see something and then another photographer will see it this way. So just train your eye to seeing things different ways, and more things will come to you as far as a photography.
Hey man, y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it here from my boy Jay Wash Photos. Now I want you to do something. I want you to go sign up for his course. It's called "What Are You Washing?" Instead instead of like "What are you watching?" is "What are you washing?" because his last name is Washington. So I want y'all to go sign up for his $25 course, and
All
so
right.
you're gonna get all this information
Yes,
at
sir.
another level. So
Yes,
if you need
sir.
any mentorship from J Watch Photos, go sign up for "What Are You Washing" right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm
Mm-hmm.
joking. It's not out yet. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Hey, hey, I'm gonna have to trademark that, bro.
Hey, you got it. I was trying to think of something creative. I was like, yeah, that's it. So no, you got it. But no, we appreciate you. I hope y'all gain something tonight, man. We're gonna be doing this every 2 weeks, and so we may do it more often. But hopefully, y'all gain
Great,
something
bro.
tonight. Aspiring photographers, just creatives. I think even creatives, bro, as you shared about the daily stuff, I think that creatives will be able to gain something from just some good stuff. So if
Mm-hmm.
you want to, if you can, literally do me a favor, share this with somebody. If they're creative, let them know, hey, these are some unorthodox ways to be successful, and you don't have to get away from, or you don't have to quit your day job. You can keep your 9 to 5 and still be a creative. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So look, share this information. Let us know if you like it. Follow us at the bottom of the screen. Here you see it. If you want to donate, please feel free, and we'll talk to y'all real soon. Thank you so much, Josh. We appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. Love you,
All
man.
right. Love you too, bro. Ending the broadcast right